what I was saying was that there are guys that are just into me because they can tell that I have the skills that I have. That I'm not going to elaborate too much on that, but mm, you know, girls got her skills. I wanted to finish that because it was interrupted by a 3-hour phone call with him, and he wants to take me to the casino tonight, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. And like, here's the thing: is like I'm getting over being sick. Like I'm going through a lot of other stuff, and I'm trying now to like, you know, not fiend, fend him off a little bit for the next week or two until I feel up to meeting him. And I feel bad about doing that, but like, hopefully, it makes him chase harder and not give up. Like, and like these are somewhat the games we play, but I leveled with him and just told him what I had going on too. And what I have going on is ulcers in my mouth from stress. That blows. But it does kill quite a bit of the idea of having fun. The things that I'm kind of in love with about this dude is he's weird. He may even be crazy. Like he may legit be crazy, and like that may be the thing that maybe I should just back off now. And this is where I'm at with this. Is I don't know. Like this is either I need to run now, or I need to keep going with this because like, oh, he's fucking cool and perfect in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways, like he's not at all. Like I'm not going to elaborate on the not at alls, but let's focus on the good for this. Like the things that I'm looking for in another person are that I enjoy spending time with them. They make me laugh. They are sexually attracted to me and I to them, and we have fun together. Aside from that, they need to somewhat be preparing for the end of the world, living off grid, and a whole host of other shit that this guy actually is already doing. I told him about my plans for the minivan and all that, and he was laughing. I was laughing at several moments because I was just like, we're doing the same thing. And there were even things that, like, he was doing that I had bought things for, and things that he was doing that I had bought things for. That, like, it really doesn't make sense. I just got a text from my buddy. It says, I'm watching Blast from the Past, and it seems so fitting for how I want to raise a kid. Well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to raise a kid in a doomsday bunker with their trophy wife? Now, son, go up into the world and explore and gather back the pipe tobacco and yacht batteries that we need to survive. I love that movie. You're in the podcast now. I just read this live on air. There you go. We'll see what he says back to you guys. Uh, I don't know if people are going to get the title of this thing because I titled it OVE, but I titled the other one the Big L, and then it fucking abruptly ended when he fucking called, or told me to call him rather. Because, why would I want someone that didn't order me to call him? Like, oh, he's fucking perfect. He was in the army too, which that's not a prerequisite, but it definitely doesn't hurt. Like, at least he'll get my sense of humor, which is dark, 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 and full of monsters. And he knows how to shoot a rifle, has a valuable skill set or two. He's a computer hacker. Like, this one has potential. This one could go the distance, baby. I have faith. He's already living on his own land off grid. That's a step in the right direction. He lives in Kansas, but the place he lives at in Kansas is someplace I've been a lot. It's only an hour away, and there's actually a shooting range not very far from there. Oh. The only thing that is gonna hurt his chances for going the distance, in my opinion, is he was curious about polyamory, and I'm like, nuh-uh. Just killed that one in the bud. Fucking hate that shit. I'm sorry, but like, if you're with me, you're with me. If you want to be with someone else, go be with someone fucking else. In case you ever wondered what kind of a girl Ray Ray is. Ray Ray's the kind of girl that would fucking cut you if you fucking did that shit to her. Like, I'm like the crazy biker bitch. Like, I'm not looking to date you, probably. You probably couldn't handle this. Be honest. There's a lot of men that fall into that. Sorry, I'm smoking. It kills me when men don't know how to handle me. It's like, I'm pretty easy. Like, if I'm dating you and you're a man, I want you to be in charge and you to be a man. Like, you should also know that I'm one of the most badass women on the planet Earth, and that I might occasionally have something to say. By occasionally, I mean all the fucking time. I realize that I should not be the one in charge. I should be the one talking to the person in charge. I realized that a long time ago. And like, that's because when I'm in charge, well, let's say I have a tendency to overreact. And I know this about myself. And like, this is why hubby gets to be in charge of shit. To some extent, like, I like the guy I'm with to run things, because like, then I don't have to worry about it. He needs to be fucking like smart enough to be able to run shit. And that's the thing, is this guy is. And this is why we have ourselves a contender. Just don't say my name, LOL. His name is Dwayne Peterson. And he lives at 12 Elk Snout Grove, Columbia, Missouri. 81275 309. Something like that. I told them your home address. Funny part is, we're not even live. I'm just doing this to a camera right now, or microphone rather, because this is radio. Gun porn for the blind. He says, laughing my fucking ass off, tell them to send nudes. Oh, I will. He doesn't realize is that they'll all be dick pics, but you know. We should really do more of this where I just fuck with him via text messages. while on the radio with you people. I don't know. This is entertaining to me, at least. It adds a unique element to this show. I wish I had more stuff to talk about other than, being in love, but like, fuck, that's what I woke up to this morning was a message from that dude who I'd been talking to on and off for forever. So, I don't know. Like, it could turn into nothing tomorrow. And like, this is the thing that drives me fucking out of my mind is I'll meet somebody like this and whew, be like, okay, maybe. And then like they flake, do whatever. Like, there's a whole lot of people that are like into transgender women that have never been with one. So they don't really know if they are or not. And it's like kind of sad. And this isn't this guy's thing at all. This guy's been with a few trans women. Like, I think I might be dating a porn star. Maybe. I don't know. His dick looked very familiar. Put it that way. It's amazing who you run into building off grid cabins in Kansas. Trying to think of something else to talk about. Let's just focus on this. Let's just talk about love. Like, I enjoy being in love. Like, whether it's this like little flirty romantic thing that I'm in now where I'm just excited to meet somebody, or full on like I was with Dakota, where it took me over a year to get over it. I'm still really not over it. It's a rough thing to realize that you would shoot every person on earth to save one person. That's where I was at with her. I would have lined all y'all up and shot you one at a time. It was that combined with a few other things that kind of ended up breaking me a little bit. And her being a psycho bitch and completely abusing that level of love and then throwing it in the trash. Like, this is the thing with love. This is the thing with love. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's the greatest thing in the world and it's the worst. And like, that's many things in life. Like, I think you'll find that there are more things in life that are the best and the worst at the same time than there is anything else. And this is why all of the people that live in black and white are wrong. The world is in shades of gray. That's how I see it anyway. Shades of gray with big ass red hearts when somebody falls in love. Like, the thing that I like about classic like Greek myth and shit like that is they will have Aphrodite as the goddess of love be the fucking wild card that comes in out of nowhere and is like, "Oh, well, you think you knew how this was going to go. Well, you underestimated this young man's love for this young woman, and the only way for him to get her is for him to conquer this empire. So, probably not going to be a good day for you, especially when it's like Achilles or someone like that." And like, that was half of the thing is most of the heroes that you knew of in Greek mythology, they were all motivated by this love, usually love of something, usually women. Like, honestly, half the time those boys were chasing pussy. And that's why Aphrodite figured so prominently in many of their stories. Uh, I think it's funny that at least based on what I've been reading, Aphrodite is a trans woman, and that the Greek goddess of love is a trans woman. And I think if that is true, like all of the other trans women I've ever met pretty much did what they did for one reason and one reason only, and that's that they wanted love and sex and marriage and all of that. Like, if they could, they would have kids. They want to be a woman. Like, it's kind of a beautiful thing that someone does all of that just for love. At least I think it is. And I think the men that enjoy our company think that too. And in a day and age where women have forgotten what it is to be feminine, honey, trans women are where it's at, I guess. Like, someone called me ugly on Instagram earlier. And, I hate getting comments like that. But at the same time, how shitty must that person's life be that they have ended up talking shit about me on Instagram? Like, I am no one. You really took time out of your day to look up my account and make a shitty comment about how I look like some fucking troll that was on Blair White. Like, eh, I know that's not true. So, fuck you. Like, this is my thing. It's like, this is why I don't have a camera on most of the time, is I find my looks would be distracting. Either they're, hot as fuck or they're ugly as fuck or whatever. Like, it's just going to be a constant thing. And this is why you're looking at the fucking Terminator. Because, like, in reality, this is what you're talking to. Yes, I'm a trans woman and whatever, but you should know 100% when you're talking to me that this spooky dude in the garbage bag there, that's who you're really talking to more than likely. Especially, like, if you start fucking with me, it's not like I have multiple personalities or whatever, but I am an actor and I do characters. And the character that you're looking at in that picture is scary as fuck. That's with a lot of things. You know, if you want to pick something to be good at, be a good actor. Be good at faking it for 20 minutes. It'll actually get you through more shit than you'd ever fucking believe. Trust me. Like, some things it won't. Like, forging a knife. Not gonna get you through that. Business meeting? Sure. Like, pretend to be Donald Trump for 15 minutes. Okay, not that crazy. But something like that. Like, pick a businessman you like, study him, study what he does, study how he does it, study why he does it, and start building a character based off of him and what he does to bring about the things that you want done. And then from that point, you can make alterations about this character and what he does and what he doesn't do. So, like, if you want to be confrontational, you can add that or you can subtract that. But, like, this is a thing that we are building in our mind that's like a suit of clothes that we can just put on. And then, you know, you're Mighty Mouse. Ah! Or whatever the fuck you want to be. And you can work in voices and mannerisms and all sorts of other things. And like, this really sells the characters when you can add very subtle details into what they do or do not do. And even do voices or whatever, like, this I don't know really what this has to do with love. We've kind of gone off into a huge rabbit hole now that is like undercover work and infiltration and shit. That's what this is. Like, in order to do those kind of things, you have to be an actor and you have to be naturalistic as hell. That's like, go watch Reservoir Dogs. That whole scene with the fucking commode story and all that shit. It's pretty much true. And those skills, those undercover skills to just fucking do that shit, those can get you through a hell of a lot in life. It's like doing improv comedy, but it's improv life. You know, that's that's the game you're playing, and I think a lot of people don't realize that about that kind of work. That it's like it is the ultimate challenge for the actor. So, like, if you really want to, like, you want to be James Bond or whoever, you know, you should probably start paying attention to some of the crazy shit that I do and acting shit. Why the crazy shit that I do? Some of the crazy shit that I do just because I want to do it. And it's like, this is a character that you're watching. This isn't even really me. You've never really met the real Ray Ray. Does that disturb you? Should probably disturb a few of you at this point. But I can hold characters for years. Like, this is the thing that I can, I can and have evaded interrogation before by holding character because the character didn't know shit. Like, this is some of the shit that helps you pass like polygraphs and shit like that. When people are like, you can be trained to do that. The reason why that shit's inadmissible in court is because of psychos like me. That if I believe it to be true, my body still doesn't fucking react like I'm lying. And I believe a lot of things, honey. Like, there's a lot of like keys to that shit, and like love is as dangerous as undercover work. It could go bad at any moment. You could lose everything. It's You're relying on another person 100%. You are just accepting the fact that they love you and that you love them and that this is going to keep moving on. It's amazing that any of those relationships work, really. And like, this is the thing that's probably going to make me and Mr. Right not work out. He's great, whatever, but he's a little crazy, and I don't know if I could trust him. My buddy says to the sending of the nudes, LOL, my niece would be scarred for life. Well, they would be mostly dick pics, so she might like it. Mostly. I got a thing of rock candy from Amazon for 15 bucks. I did that. Oh, because you could have it as rock candy, or you could crush it into sugar. And either way, it's a useful thing to have. I don't know why I'm talking about that now, other than the fact that I'm baked as fuck and talking to you guys about love and looking at a bag of candy. Like, seriously though, like, love can be dangerous. Like, you could talk about that too, like the life and limb kind of danger, but I'm meaning more like the emotional kind of danger. Like, the life and limb kind, like, you could lose your car, you could get stabbed, you could lose a kidney, Like, there's all sorts of bad shit that could happen to you, especially if you are going to go to disreputable places. If you're going to go to Bangkok and bang hookers, you should not go alone. Pro tip. It's never really my thing to go and do. I'm not into banging anyone, really. I'm into being banged. And as such, it's either way more dangerous for me or way safer. I think it's way safer because I'm 6'5" and, you know, most of the men that fuck me have to look up at me and are just like in awe or some shit. Like, I've never felt in danger whatsoever from any man that was fucking me. If anything, I'm probably one of the safest motherfuckers on earth at that moment because they would do almost anything for me. It's a good feeling. See someone that's, 6'9" and rippled in muscles from head to toe that would literally, go and rip some dude's head off for you when you said to. That's what I'm looking for. I'll take applications at rayray.com / I don't know. Be something funny. We'll think on that. Head Marauder, maybe. Or Marauder Head. Rather. Mm. I wish the whole world could just find love and acceptance and learn to get over their bullshit. There's a lot of what's going on in the world right now that is just people gone amok. Uh, the entire idea of working at a giant company, I shudder to think at what anyone before 1700 would have thought of that. Maybe even a little later than that. Like, you mean to tell me that you do whatever these people say for no other reason than that they give you money, but they don't give you very much money. In fact, they don't give you enough to live on, much less, you know, be a part of this upper crust society. But yet you're okay here because you have Star Wars and Legos? Yep, pretty much. That's what's going on. That's why they're keeping people stupid and like children. You know, I our society is doomed. And our society is doomed because there's no one capable of love. In order to truly love someone, you have to be able to set yourself aside. And there's not that many people left like that in our society. And they're getting fewer every day. I don't know why, but this conversation and saying that makes me think of World War II veterans, and now it's story time. I've fucked people that fought in World War II. You know, it's my patriotic duty or whatever. They were old and they had the hots for me and they were hung. Like, at a certain point, why not? Like, do I want to marry the World War II vet? No. No, I do not. Did he get a fun ride for free? Oh, hell yes, he did. You know, he was into trans women, and I don't know how or why. Although, after listening to Ron White talk about his stay in Hawaii in the 60s, my guess is that Hotel Street was alive and well in the 40s. And that there was a whole bunch of little ladyboy hookers in fucking uh, Hawaii. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm reminding him of his misspent youth. That was more than a year ago now. It's one of those. I'm not even gonna make that joke. It's just bad. uh, it was about Pearl Harbor. Anyway, bombs away. Uh, this guy that I'm talking to is not a World War II vet. He's like semi-age appropriate, which is fun. By semi-age appropriate, I mean like he's like within 10 years of me, which is about right, probably. Like I don't like dating younger men, and I don't think any woman does. And I think this is like one of like the great misconceptions of the world is like men think that the things that make a man hot are the things that make a woman hot, and they are not. So when you're like, oh man, how could I ever compete with that young, hot dude? It's easy. You buy her a big ass diamond ring and then you go beat the shit out of him. That's what makes you hot. And if you're like, nah, that's not, yeah, 100% it is. Like, women find intelligence and experience and a lot of these other things very fucking hot. And like, if you have all that and a hot body and are young, then okay, maybe, but that doesn't exist. It just doesn't. It's like, go hunt for unicorns, you'll have more fun. I think these dating podcasts would be more popular. I don't know. I know people like have this shit going on in their lives and no one's talking about it in a way that appeals to anyone. Like, my goal with this show is to talk about everything that is me. And like, love is this huge slice of my life. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't imagine living any other way than this. I wouldn't want to. Maybe maybe that's half of most trans women's problems is they just want that. You know, they want like fairy book fucking romance, and I don't know. I'm hoping to find it. The other guy I'm talking to is 75 and lives in Arizona and makes his own BDSM furniture. Kind of like that one too, but it's one of those things that like when they're super age inappropriate, you start worrying about the legs left on the horse. Like how many more years this filly got left in him? I'm bad. See, my thing is, I'm just treating men exactly how men treat women. So I think it's fine. They might disagree. OVE. L. I love that song. Is it? I don't remember the whole thing. I'm not going to try to burst into song here. I can somewhat sing. I choose not to. It's one of those things that, like, my mother was a classically trained singer, and she tried to force that shit upon me. So I don't sing. In fact, when she put me in choirs as a kid in church, I would sit at the back with my hands folded, frowning. I guess that's what's wrong with me. Like, there's a streak in me that is very much fuck the world. And it's not that I know what's best or whatever. It's I know I'm being lied to by most people. So why pretend? And like this is the thing is when I say being lied to by most people are so fucking far into this and have their heads so far up their asses that they don't know they're lying anymore. And when I say lying, they're spreading other people's lies. And I'm not saying I know what is or isn't a lie anymore, but like I can tell that most of what's on the news is lies, various other things. Well, you didn't tell me she was 7. Gosh, I'll tell them to send crayons instead of dick pics. He said his niece is 7. Oh. Did anyone else's world get weird when they turned that CERN super collider back on? My buddy says, LOL, yeah, you sealed your fate. Now you're destined to suffer in hell. Laughing face, just kidding. Yeah, comma, because that's the thing that would get me sent to hell. Not the hooking or the sodomy or the any of the other shit. You know, not really a hooker, but I have been before. Like that's one of those things like it's fun. Like I'm not really gonna say much more about it than that, but it's fun. I have very limited experience in it. I think that's like a big difference is like there's a difference between someone that does something a couple of times for the fun of it and someone that does it every day because they want to, you know? Or not it's every day because they have to. Sorry. Want to, have to, yada yada. I found out that I could make, several $1,000s an hour in Reno. So, if nothing else works out, there's always blowjob school, fucking Mav or whatever, or in fucking Top Gun. There's there's always truck driving school. There's always Ray Ray's Free Range Pussy Ranch in fucking Reno, Nevada. Mm. And if you're like, how could you get paid that much to do that? It's simple. I'm skilled, cute, and kind of a psychotic freak. And yeah, you can get paid damn good money when it's that combination. This guy has me so fucking horny, I can't hardly stop talking about sex. Might have to do something about that. I might actually have to fucking go out with this guy sooner rather than later. Ugh. Fucking stress ulcers suck. I don't know how you stop from getting those, but I'm guessing that's a result of the whole summer solstice CERN super collider death of 1,000 screaming whatevers from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Suddenly, 1,000 people screamed out, and then suddenly they were silenced. It was a lot like that, but it involved a super collider. I don't know. Like, this is the thing is like girls and guys need to get these things that I'm about to say. If you don't get anything out of this other than this, guys, you need to get that girls are horny too, but it's a little different than the way you are horny. And girls, you need to get that if you think you've ever been horny, you were wrong, pretty much, compared to a guy. And like, that's not saying that you weren't horny or whatever, blah, blah, blah. The thing you need to get is guys get horny to the point that they start doing crazy shit. That's legit. Like, honestly, I feel bad for guys. They they need an outlet. And like honestly, I think it's sad that we have developed a culture where everybody just goes and jacks off in the corner to free porn. I mean, I guess that's one way to take care of the STDs or whatever, but like, fuck it. At this point, if I die, I die. Ow. That's not to say that I'm just like running around fucking everything that moves unprotected, but like, if I'm with someone and we're dating and whatever, like I'm eventually probably just gonna say fuck it. Like I think that's kind of the way you should be. Like live a little. It's my advice. Like George Carlin once said, life is worth losing. These are wise words. There is no life if you never risked it. This is why it's so much fun to, I don't know, beat the train at the fucking track crossing or fucking Dukes of Hazard off a fucking jump, you know? And actually survive. Like, it's not fun to die off of those things. Like, this is, as with Dukes of Hazard jumping a car, so is love. You should know the jump before you make it. Like, study your target. Like, this is the thing a lot of guys, I think, miss is you should get to know your fucking target. Like, if it's a girl that you make regular contact with daily, you can learn shit about her. And like you should be 100% pumping her for information and maybe not doing intelligence counterintelligence shit hardcore on her, but like get her to divulge things about herself and remember these things because they will come in handy later. If you really think she's all that or whatever and you just have to have her, uh, we'll do more videos on that eventually, but you can stalk your prey pretty effectively and, you know, target what you're doing to her likes. Like, it sounds bad when I say stalk your prey, but like you should get that like I'm like a hunter sort of. And the thing that I hunt is dick. So that's, the language that I use for that. And like if I'm hunting a woman or whatever, like it's to, you know, pleasure her in some way probably. It's nothing. It's not like anything bad. Like, to be honest, this is why I much prefer hunting dick. Hunting dick is way more fun, especially if you're in like a pack of girls. Hunting dick in a pack of girls is fun. Now that's what I want to do. I want to go to Florida with like three of my best girlfriends or whatever and fucking hunt dick on the fucking boardwalk or whatever there. They have boardwalk in Florida. They've got to. It's a beach. Right? I want to go to Florida. And like that's like, oh, why would you want to go to Florida? Basically because I'm a little bit of a pirate and I like the Caribbean and various things there, but I don't really want to have to go all the way out to someplace else like fucking St. Thomas, St. Croix, someplace like that, Puerto Rico, Mexico. I don't want to go any of those places. So Florida is like the natural place to go. Like there's Texas Gulf Coast. There's people that go there, but like I, I'm not a fan. I'd rather go to Florida. And like the thing I think is funny is if you had told me that Joe Exotic wasn't from Oklahoma, the state I would have thought he'd be from, Florida. Like Oklahoma and Florida have this weird link. I don't know what it is. I think it's that we both have fucked up people and like someone visited from each other and then they started fucking, so now we're all intermarried and shit and people fly back and forth and it's weird. Like some of it is the Indian stuff. Like there's a Miami Florida, there's a Miami Oklahoma too, because the Indian tribe that they named Miami Florida after now lives in Miami Oklahoma, and maybe that's some of it. It's like that they go back and forth. Maybe I don't know. It's weird. And it's one of those things like if you see someone using an alligator to hold up a liquor store, there's only a few states that could be in, and you wouldn't think that'd be Oklahoma, but stranger things have happened here. You think Louisiana and Florida right off, right? Because like Florida's Florida, and Louisiana has so many gators, and those people in the swamps look like they do drugs, quite frankly. And once you have that combo of people doing drugs and access to alligators, it is only a matter of time until you get yourself a liquor store held up with one. It's just like a fact. Well, I think on that I'm going to end this because with that other one and this should be about an hour. Thank you guys for watching. I hope somebody got something out of this. I hope I'm not driving off too much of my audience talking about love and dating and dick and whatever, but like, I'm trying to make this a show about life. Like, this is like surviving life. You know, with a little bit of prepping and guns and crazy shit thrown in as we can, but like, I go where the wind takes me, and right now the wind is taking me to, you know, be a kinky bitch for a minute, probably. Like, the thing you got to realize about kinky whatever, like, usually that is not the guy that's into that. Like, 9 times out of 10, the kinky bitch is the fucking girl. Like, girls are like, you know, guys like, I think we should have sex. And the girl's like, I think you should tie me up with this ribbon and mount me on this pedestal made of goat horns and then fuck me in the light of the moon while there's 1,000 candles around and I'm screaming Bahamut or something to the moon. I'm like, what? Like, pretty sure that's some Satan. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, now we're really going. See you guys later. Seriously though, what's up with like the freaky witch girls that want to be sacrificed to Satan? I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, call me and we can find a better way to sacrifice you to something else.